Hello and welcome to Episode 1, Map Overlaying and DLC. I'm your host, Sergeant Quinn. Map overlaying is very simple to perform. When the game was first released, players were experiencing what they thought were glitches in the game. Aircraft carriers sticking out the side of hills, trees in the middle of flight decks, runways dropping off at very steep angles. But in fact, it was the Versus game host switching the game type and map, but inadvertently hitting the B button instead of the A button to confirm the change. Today, this is recognized more as an Easter egg than a glitch and enhances Versus play tenfold when done properly. Okay, let's start a map overlay. We go to Versus, Create Session. For those of you who don't have the DLC maps, this is what the Versus menu looks like with the DLC available maps. The maps with the dollar icons on the left side. Okay, let's select Malta Airfield Domination. On the bottom left-hand side, click on Change Mission. Now let's pick something from the Pacific Theater. Let's scroll down and highlight Midway. Now all you have to do is hit the B button. That's it. You just performed a map overlay. You'll notice that you still have Malta Airfield Domination showing in the top left. That's what you want. Just remember, pick the map that you want to play on, then go back in, change mission, highlight the scenario that you want to overlay onto that map, and hit the B button to confirm. After you pick your aircraft, you will notice that the air points have changed location from what you are used to on the Malta preview map, and no aircraft carrier icons are showing. You are now playing Midway Air Domination scenario overlaid onto Malta Airfield Domination map. All of the Versus maps that start with you air spawning will overlay with no problem. Most of the runway spawn maps will overlay except for mainly Kuban and DLC Bulge map. Kuban and Bulge has a lot of mountain and hill areas, and you need flat terrain for the runways to overlay properly. Also, you run into a little problem in Sicily where one of the airfields overlay in the middle of a town. For people that have the DLC maps, you can host a Versus match by picking a stock map like Raw Battlefront, overlaying a DLC map, for example Stalingrad Battlefront, and everyone in the game lobby, regardless if they have the DLC or not, will be able to play the Stalingrad scenario overlaid onto Raw. Let me clarify. Players who do not have the DLC download maps can play in a DLC overlaid match. This gives people who don't have the DLC a chance to experience the scenario and reduce the amount of players dropping out of your game lobby due to not having the DLC. Personally, I enjoy overlaying the DLC Stalingrad and Britain Battlefront maps onto the Ruhr maps. maps do away with the zone and floating A in the center. The airfields are much farther apart, and if you like to fly the big bombers, you can attain much higher altitudes and have a better chance of bombing the enemy airfield. Another favorite overlay is the DLC Stalingrad and DLC Britain Battlefront scenarios overlaid onto the DLC Kherson Battlefront map. Kherson Battlefront is a great winter map, but it's airborne only with no airfield to rearm or refuel. I play mostly simulator mode with limited fuel and ammo, as do most of your simulator players. Overlaying Stalingrad and or Britain Battlefronts onto Kherson put the airfields on the map. Also, it's a great map to fly with your Russian and German winter aircraft skins. I prefer to overlay maps and scenarios that would be considered valid or what the game should have came with in the first place. There are so many more overlays you can perform. Now that I've demonstrated for you how simple it is, you can start your own overlay games. You may like the valid overlays or the not so valid ones. Just give the players in your Versus lobby a heads up so they're not wondering why an aircraft carrier is sticking out the side of a mountain.